Okay, we're trying to do a little recording here of this Inovato Quadra opening up in the HamClock. So this is what it looks like after you get everything installed and you plug it in. Um this is the point where you would hit just click on the mouse and you would enter the setup at this point. Setup's already been done. And the back, I had to go get the mouse and the keyboard for this thing. Okay, so what it did is it started up and see if I can get my keyboard turned on here. And what we have are, see the mouse moving there, are several different panes with information in it. This is the main base pane where you put your call sign in. I've got it set up to run and show universal time, shows you the date. This little lock here is what you use to unlock the screen so you can make changes, and then when you make your changes you can lock it again. And you want to operate it locked because if you're running your mouse across the screen, you don't want to set anything up accidentally. So there's 4 windows here at the top and 2 here on the side, and they could be set up for different functions. The way I've got this set up is this is our location, the DE. This is shows you the date, our longitude and latitude. We're FN01PD, and then that's where we're at. This window could be set up for a lot of different things. I've got it set up now for the International Space Station passes. And what this is showing me is that the space station will rise in 17 17 minutes and 20 some seconds. And this is the path it'll take, where my house is right here in the center. So it's going to start on the horizon west and then come up through the sky at this angle and then leave for this pass. Up here at the top, there are 4 windows. I've got these set up. This past weekend, we had a pretty strong geomagnetic storm, and I was kind of using this to see what was going on. And what this particular plot here is the planetary KP index, which is kind of an overall measure of the geomagnetic activity for the Earth. And you can see there for a couple days we had a pretty stormy situation and made for pretty noisy contact. And then it dropped off, and then it settled down a little bit, and then there was another storm that came in a little later, wasn't quite as strong as that one. And then this is the solar wind measurement, BZ and BT, and you can use that to kind of tell how the velocity of the solar wind affecting the Earth. This one here is just it goes through different images of the sun. I really haven't gotten into the details of what all that's telling me. That's more to learn. And then this one here is set up for solar weather numbers. The SFI is the Solar Flux Index at 142. I don't know if you remember when we got our licenses, we were in the solar minimum. This typically ran about in the 70s to 80s. 80 was a good day back then. The X-ray reading, I'm not too sure about that. Still haven't studied that much. Then the KP value is what's plotted over here. And then the BZ value is plotted here. So these are current readings for those. Now this map down here is kind of interesting. There are a lot of different types of maps that you can have. And what I've got it set up for here is the maximum usable frequency. It's telling us that right here in the corner. And what that tells us in real time is what the maximum frequency you could use, where the color code's down here, that you'll be able to get propagation. So for example, you can see here this big blue blob that goes over Asia and into Eastern Europe on this side. Really wouldn't propagate anything much over 10 megahertz. So they might be able to use 40 meters at 7 megahertz in this area, 80 meters at 3.6 to 4. But if you tried to use 20 meters, the bounce wouldn't bounce off the ionosphere. It would just continue off into space. And so here are the bright reds. These you could be looking at 35 megahertz, which is well above 10 meters. So 10 meters is 28 megahertz, so it would be this color here. So if it's this color or oranger, then you could probably operate 10 meters pretty well. So looking at this, you could probably, from where we're at, work down southern United States, the Caribbean, down into South America with 10 meters or higher or lower frequency, I guess. And then if you're trying to get into Eastern Europe, you're probably not going to be able to do it with 10 meters or 12 or 15 or 17 because you couldn't get into this area here. Your signal would end up going off in space. So that's a maximum usable frequency. That's kind of interesting. I kind of like watching that. Now I'm going to change the map. What I'm going to do is turn the lock off, and instead of maximum usable frequency, it gives me some different options here for the styles, the grid, type of map. And I think what I want to do is select this DRAP map, and that's the D-layer absorption that has an impact on propagation. So I'll change that and go to OK, and it should pop up here pretty quick. There it is. And what this is, it's obviously the same global map, but what this is showing is the D-layer absorption with the frequency scale down here. And this is these are the frequencies that are absorbed at least 1 dB by the D layer. So that has an adverse impact on your propagation. And this is a daytime thing. You can see the sun here. As you get out away from the sun incident on the Earth, you get less of an impact of the D layer absorption. And the other thing to note here, this right here is the space station. Since I have it plugged in, notice there on the right hand side it says ISS, and it shows you the path that the space station will go over the next orbit. The other thing that's kind of interesting is the sun. It shows you the direct overhead location of the sun, and this is the Tropic of Capricorn down here. This is the Tropic of Cancer up here, and you can see the sun's very close to the Tropic of Capricorn, and that the Tropic of Capricorn is the southernmost distance that the sun will traverse during the year. So we're almost to the winter solstice. So when we get to December 21st, the sun should be right on that line, and then after that, As time goes by, it'll gradually move up. And then on June 21st or so, it'll be here at the Tropic of Cancer. This orange spot is our location, the FN01. Somewhere, oh, this changed to a DX spot. It picked this DX spot here for some reason. And I was looking for the moon. It usually shows you the moon on this. Oh well. The other thing you can do is change the types of maps that you have. Well, let's look at one other change. Let's look at the aurora. Since we've had some good stormy solar weather, you can look at this map when it pops up. And that shows the aurora at both north and south poles. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that's a good way to keep an eye on it. Let's go back to the DRAM and let's try a different projection. Let's try, I can't say that word, azimuthal, as azimuth. Let's see what that looks like. So you can see the sun illumination on these two different images. It shows you all the same. Shows you the moon here, the sun, where the DX spot is. Notice it's color coded with this window. So that was kind of an interesting way of looking at things. Really shows you the impact of the winter daylight on the north. And while we're changing things, let's go up here and show you how you change these screens. You just go up to the top, and instead of planetary, let's see, what would be a good one? Oh, here's one of Judy's favorites. We'll check POTA. We'll turn off the planetary. K. Select OK. Now what that's showing is the most current POTA spots of stations that are on the air at parks. So if you like POTA and want to keep an eye on what's going on there, this is one way to do it. You can go up here. Let's change this one to something different. I haven't worked out the DX clusters yet, but what that allows you to do is to set it up so it'll show you where the different DX stations are and the propagation from that's currently being measured. Let's see. Let's look at well, came back. Oh, let's just look at contest. We'll turn off that. If you have more than one on, it'll cycle between them. So these are the current contests coming up this weekend. You can see that. So you can change all four of these windows and these two side windows, change the map, and just have all kinds of neat things to play with. Now, to be honest, when I first fired this up, I wasn't too impressed with it. But then as I got into it and started seeing what you could do, particularly since I'm interested in trying to understand the solar weather a little bit, it became apparent that it was a pretty neat tool. So it's a nice little thing to play around with. I want to show you something else that, let me lock this up. I want to go to the applications, show you some other things you can do with this. Okay, I just hit reset, and you can see up here at the top, HamClock's running. I'm going to take a look at applications, and you can look at ham radio. They've got a tab here for ham radio. And the thing that caught my eye, one thing that they have chirp running here. I'm not sure what these programs do, but this is FL Amp, FL Digi, FL ARQ. This is the whole FL Digi suite of programs that's installed on this thing. So what you can do is connect this little computer to your HF rig, just as you would a desktop computer, and run the FL Digi suite. So my plan is to take one of these and set it up with my Kenwood TS480 as a digital, to make it capable of doing digital in a portable station. It has the HamClock program that we just looked at. And then this down here is the WinLink program. This is for the digital email. So I think with this one device, for basically $30 and a few little options on it, you can set up a mobile HF station to do just about all the digital modes you would need to do in an emergency situation. So that's going to be kind of my winter project. Next thing I want to show is I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to put a small SD drive, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. See if I can get it without bumping the camera. No, I bumped it a little bit. That still looks okay. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the... No, you can't see it. Let me do it this way. Put a spotlight on it. See if you can see it. This is the micro SD card I'm going to put in this Quadra, and it'll start up on a new operating system. Here we go. Like that. Okay, I just put that into the unit, and I'm plugging the power back in. And it'll take a moment for it to fire up. This is running the Armbian operating system, which is one of the Linux subsets, I guess. I'm not that familiar with Linux, but I think I'm going to probably start picking up on some of that stuff, because this is some pretty neat capability in this little cheap box. My understanding is that this box was developed as a Android TV interface. I'm not too sure what they did with it, but they had very high volume production, a lot of good capabilities in it, and then some people saw where they could use that and do some ham radio stuff in it. So let's see if I can get my password in here. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm getting a new mouse instead of this touchpad thing. You can, it comes with a password, but you can change it, which I did, so you can remember it. And there it is. This is a system called HamPi, and it was developed by this fella, W3DJS. And what he did is he put a lot of ham radio applications on this device. These are the main categories. we look here at Ham Radio, these are all the programs that he's put on there. He's got programs for antenna analyzers, APRS, Automatic Packet Reporting System. That's where you use your GPS and your radio for location information. We've got calculators. DRATS is a digital, kind of a subset of, I forget which one it is, but it's a subset of one of the digital voice modes. There's the full FL Digi Suite. He's got that loaded on there. HamClock, which is what we were just looking at. He's got some logging programs, some Morse code port programs, PSK 31 programs, software-defined radio. He's got some training programs there, weak signal, and that includes the WSJTX, which means you could do FT8 and FT4 with this. Droids, I'm not sure what these are for. I don't see anything that looks familiar, but just a lot of ham-related software he's loaded on this thing. And this is a free download. All you need to do is get one of those micro SD cards and find the HamPi on the internet, and then you can download their instructions on how to download and flash that SD card. So you get all this as well as the HamClock. So that's about it. I hope this has been recorded and it comes out good. If you have any questions, let me know. I put a couple of videos on the our video page on YouTube that shows you how to set up HamClock and HamPi. So that information's there, and if you need a hand, let me know. So this is K3SKS73, and this part of the session's over. Hopefully it worked.